Dude, where's my cologne?
You're wearing it, genius.
Hey guys, it is Chris with Dude, Where's My Cologne? And here I am once again at my favorite place, Xclusive Mart here in Houston. Came in here to try out some of their new Arabiyat Prestige fragrances that they got in recently. So we have Swar Venom. We have Ramad Earthy. We have Black Currant Lolly. Obviously, this is going to be a gourmand, which I'm going to like. And we have, this is Raspberry Ripple, and you can probably guess, or I'm guessing what that's going to be a clone of, or an inspired by. And then we've got two from their Forbidden Apple collection. So we've got Forbidden and we've got Cursed. I only grabbed the box for the Forbidden, but the Cursed is in a green box, similar design. But I do have the fragrance, and that's what's important. So let's get started with these. I'm just looking up the notes when I got here because I just grabbed whatever new ones they had so I can look at them. So this is going to be my first time smelling them, first reaction. We'll see how they do. So Swar Venom is it is classified as an oriental floral fragrance. In the profile, it is fruity, sweet, woody, vanilla, rose, amber, powdery, cherry, and balsamic. I have a feeling this is going to be my style of fragrance completely. It's marketed towards women, but you know how I feel about saying something's for women or men or unisex. If you like it, you like it, and that's all that really matters. So in the top notes, we're going to have raspberry, black currant, cherry. In the mid, we have cedarwood, rose, incense, and in the base, vanilla, ambergris, and musk. Let's see, is there anything saying what it's inspired by? So this is inspired by, according to the Bible of Fragrances, Fragrantica. Take that with a grain of salt. Very Good Girl, Glam. So a flanker to the Good Girl series. So let's give it a couple sprays here. So let's take a look at the presentation. Plastic, all the gold on it appears to be, yeah, it's all plastic. Metal cap though, snaps into place. I wouldn't pick it up by it, but it's a nice looking bottle, nice looking red color. Presentation, you know, it's a Arabiyat Prestige fragrance, so the presentation is always going to be over the top. Let's see. Let's test out the atomizer. Pressurized. Look at that. That's a good atomizer. Super fruity. Sweet. Obviously very sweet. But fruits off the top are very strong. It's very fruity, and that's probably why it's considered a feminine fragrance, because of how strong the fruit is. But on paper, it's fading. The fruitiness is fading quickly, and you get more of the rose incense. It has that good girl DNA without being shaped like a shoe. Very, very, very floral, very fruity. A little bit of the incense comes through to give it more of an oriental feel to it. It smells like a good girl flanker. But I mean, this is definitely for the women, unless you're a man who enjoys very floral, very fruity fragrances. For being only listing rose as the only floral note in it, it's surprisingly more floral than that. So there's more than that in there. It's not woody at all, so you don't have to worry about that. But overall, I'm going to say it's 7 out of 10. I can't say anything about performance, but just based on first initial on the fragrance itself, it's a 7 out of 10. The vanilla comes out more. The floral is kind of letting up, and it's getting more vanilla to it. But we're going to set this down and come back in a few minutes and see where we are. So that is Soir Venin, a good girl flanker, inspired by. All right, so next we're going with the Ramad Earthy. I love the other Ramad series. It's very dark, very masculine. At least the other series is. The other fragrances. Let's see. We have. So like the other one, which is an Outlands inspired by, this is inspired by Amouage Sinbad. So let's talk about the profile here. Profile, we have woody, honey, sweet, green, warm, spicy, aromatic, fruity, amber, patchouli, and balsamic. On our notes, we have, and just disclaimer off the top, honey is one of my favorite fragrance notes in gourmands. Mad honey is one of my favorites. Just anything with a strong honey note in it, I'm a big fan of. So in the top notes, we've got honey, cardamom, apricot, pomegranate, tangerine, ginger, mango. That's a lot of top notes going on. It sounds like an Amouage fragrance. In the mid, we've got tea, cappuccino, divana. In the base notes, patchouli, cedarwood, labdaman, vanilla, vetiver, and tonka bean. So this sounds like it's going to be a dark, sweet, gourmand fragrance. I've never smelled Sinbad, so I don't know. Here's the presentation. Here's the bottle. Box. Click on cap. Plastic cap. Metal on the bottom though. Solid bottle, solid heavy bottle, just like the original Ramad. So let's give it a spray here. Not as good as the Soir. This doesn't seem to be as pressurized, if it's pressurized at all. But in the air, that is a spicy fragrance. Love it. Let's give it some sprays. Wow. Oh, that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So spicy, so sweet. Oh, man, this is good. Definitely not a summer fragrance, but saving for this for the winter. Well, at least what kind of winter we get in Houston, the cooler weather. Or I'll set my AC in the office and at home at 65 and it should be good. But you get a lot of spices on top and that honey starts to come through. Oh, it's a beautiful honey fragrance too. I mean, they killed it with this. Even if, I mean, I've never smelled the original. I'm not sure I would need to smell the original. You don't, I don't get a lot of the fruits they list in the top, but I get the honey and the cardamom right away, and the ginger makes it a little brighter. And you definitely get more woody in this from the cedar wood, and the patchouli comes out giving it a mossy aspect, but it's sweet, it's honey, it's spicy, it's amazing. And this is going in my basket before I leave today. Okay, so we're going to come back to that, or I'm just going to sit here and smell that the whole time. All right, let's see, moving on. A couple of them I'm kind of excited for here, since I am a fan of gourmands, and yes, this is again marketed towards women. This is called Black Currant Lolly, as in lollipop, I guess. But it's definitely going to be a gourmand fragrance. What it's inspired by, if anything, let's see. We get only 3 comparisons. There's only one fragrance it gets compared to, and that's C. Passion from Giorgio Armani. And the profile, it is citrus, fruity, floral, amber, vanilla, soft, spicy, woody, powdery, musky, and patchouli. In our notes, we've got top notes of black currant, a lot of black currant recently, grapefruit, mandarin, middle notes of freesia, patchouli, rose, base notes vanilla, amber, musk. So let's give this one a try. Look at the presentation, very solid bottle. Plastic neck, plastic cap. This is one of those odd bottles that the cap only fits on one way. Snaps into place. Atomizer check. Pressurize. Look at that. All right. Let's give it some sprays here. In the air. Very sweet. Very gourmandy. If that's even a word. If it's not, I invented it. You can give me credit for it. So it's very kind of similar to some of these others. It's very floral off the top, which again is surprising since freesia is the only note in it of florals. You get some sweetness from the black currant, not much citrus. On skin, it could be different. The only note I'm really not getting in here is rose. So there is another floral note, but rose isn't really what I consider feminine floral. Rose is more of a note that can be in men's, women's, unisex, any of them. Unlike some of your white florals and especially yellow florals, it's tough to have those in men's fragrances. But it stays pretty floral. Just gonna put this on skin just to see if that citrus comes through. It's definitely different on skin. It's more fruity off the top than it is on the strip. It's better on skin than it is on strip by far. Still don't get a lot of citrus, but you get more of the sweetness when you have it on the skin. Vanilla, musky, amber. Close to the original, to the OG it's inspired by. It's nice. It's a nice fragrance. Again, this is going to be for the women or for men who like feminine leaning fragrances. Again, I don't mind them, because I've found some fragrances that are just straight up marketed for women that are some of my favorites. One of my favorites that is clearly marketed for women is Easy Bake from Huda, and they just came out with Easy Bake Intense. I just ordered it, so I'm waiting for that to come in because I love the original that was discontinued. So when this Intense was announced, I was excited for it. So we'll talk about that when it comes in. Back to Arabiyat Prestige. All right, so let's move on to the Raspberry Ripple. And let's see if it's inspired by the Joe Malone. No. So this is supposedly closer to maybe... Well, there's a few comparisons to Raspberry Ripple, but mostly it's Yara, Elixir. We'll see. Juicy flowers for Mancera, vanilla candy. The usual sweet gourmands, and that's probably why I like it. So same presentation as the other one, except purple, or except being purple. This one's red. Red swirls. Again, same difficult cap. Same bottle. Same presentation, just a different color. So in the profile, we have fruity, sweet, floral, caramel, vanilla, powdery, and woody. In our notes, we go with marshmallow, blackcurrant, strawberry, freesia again, raspberry, magnolia, cashmere wood, vanilla, caramel, and moss. So let's see how marshmallowy, strawberry, raspberry-ish this is. Again, pressurized atomizer. I can smell strawberry in the air. You get strawberry, marshmallow, super sweet, super gourmand. Immediately you get the strawberry marshmallow and the raspberry coming through. Not much freesia. This is not floral like it's a sister here. This is straight up gourmand. I don't think it smells like Yara Elixir. I have Yara Elixir. I don't see that it's close to that. This is really just sweet marshmallow, strawberry, raspberry, caramel, just gourmand. Straight gourmand. Which you'll get no complaints from me. That's really good. You know, when I go through the store there and pick out what fragrances I want to review, I don't bother looking at whether they're feminine or masculine. I don't even look at the notes. I spray it, I smell it, and I decide if that's what I like and what I want to review. All right, so moving on, we're going to go into the Forbidden series. Interesting presentations on these. They look like apple cores. So this is they've got an awesome box too. It's hard to see, but it's Adam and Eve with an apple. And the green box has the same similar design to it. Just a different picture on the inside. So let's start with the non-naughty one. Let's start with the nice one, which is Forbidden. We're gonna go with Forbidden. And for that we have profile of sweet, woody, fruity, vanilla, warm, spicy. This is a unisex fragrance. It's classified as Oriental vanilla. In our notes, we have top notes of cognac and apple. We've got in the mid candied fruits and cedarwood, and in the base sugar and tonka bean. That doesn't sound like a sweet fragrance at all. My teeth are hurting just thinking about it. Is it inspired by anything? It's got one comparison to Killian's apple brandy. So we're going to give that a try. This is new for 2026. I don't think anybody else in Houston has these. You can get them online, but I don't think you can get them in any of these stores. All right, so the red one is Forbidden. It is heavy. Plastic, kind of metal in the middle, but plastic on top. Kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the presentation, kind of cheesy. I mean, it is just a cheap plastic top. But for the theme, it obviously makes sense. It's kind of cool on the metal part of the bottle. It has an angel on one side. I'm going to come around here. So it's got an angel, if you can see that, on one side. On the other, it has Eve tempting Adam with the apple. Interesting. All right, let's give this a spray. Another pressurized atomizer. Very sweet in the air. It's going to be another one of those confusing caps where it's only going to go on one way because of the shape of the bottle. So it's kind of like a puzzle. There it goes. All right. Oh yeah. Super gourmand. Awesome gourmand. Awesome gourmand fragrance. Not as dark as the Killian, obviously. Killian doesn't do a lot of just straight gourmands. They do sweet, dark fragrances. Now you get the sugar and the tonka bean right away, actually, in the candied fruits. The cedarwood calms it down a little bit. And the apple there. The apple is there. The cognac is there. The cognac's not really strong. Doesn't have a strong alcohol smell to it. Really nice gourmand. Yeah, that's really good. So we're gonna let that sit. Let's check out what Cursed looks like. So Cursed has a silver instead of gold. So we've got Angel, we've got the Adam and Eve again on this bottle. Same basic design, different color, plastic cap. I noticed on the tester, the stem is broken off on this one already. So that's going to be a fragile stem. All right, so let's see. In our profile, we've got fruity, sweet, vanilla, powdery, and musky. Again, oriental vanilla. Any inspirations? Inspiration is sunlit Sherry Nova. Sherry Mova. It's a Joe Malone fragrance. I'm not familiar with that one, but let's see in our notes. Really simple notes. Apple pie in the top, middle notes of cherimoya. Let's see. It's a fruit of some kind. Cherimoya. It's just listed as fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Interesting. But that's in the mid, and the base is just vanilla and musk. So, I mean, that almost gives you a profile like a designer fragrance these days. It's obviously going to have more than that. So, pressurized, yes. Now this is apple. Now there is some apple right there. Woo! That is, I wouldn't even call it apple pie. I'd call it green apple. It's not bad. You just better like apple. It's a sweet, it's not a sour green apple. I guess you could call it apple pie. It's really apple, vanilla, and a little bit of musk. That's all I'm getting. Which isn't bad, if that's what you like. Again, this is a unisex fragrance. It's just, it's just really strange because this is a unisex fragrance, but these three aren't. Is it just because of the florals? Because I don't see a lot of men enjoying the strong apple sweetness that you get in this. I don't really care for it, and I love gourmands. It's okay. I just don't think I would wear it. It kind of seems more like a novelty. All right, so let's review these strips. So let's go back to the Soir Venin. Still really floral. Still has that good girl floral DNA. It's okay. If you like floral fragrances, you'll like that. Oh, this stuff is my favorite. This stuff is amazing. Oh, yeah. Still that spicy. Sweet and spicy. Yeah, I really like this one. Oh, this is the only one I put on skin. It's very light now. But it could be I'm nose blind from smelling so many things. But I'm also a avid believer in overspraying everything. Other people may not like me sometimes. But if I'm spending money, whether it's $30 or $300, someone other than me is going to smell it when I wear it. That's my rule. Yeah, this one's good. Very masculine, very sweet, spicy, masculine. Black currant. It's dried down into a floral, more of a floral aspect to it. That's blackcurrant lolly. This one is still really good. The raspberry ripple. Still really sweet and fruity. Not floral at all like the other two marketed for women here. That's nice. And to our forbidden and our cursed, still super green apple. This one is, it's very sweet, but not as fruity. Strong gourmand aspects to it. All right, so obviously my favorite is going to be the Ramad Earthy. My second favorite, I'm going to have to say the Forbidden, the Apple Gourmand, then the Raspberry Ripple, then the Blackcurrant, then last would be the Soir Venin, just because it's so floral and you don't get much of anything else from it. So those are my reviews of the new fragrances down here at Xclusive Mart. Come and check them out. And you're not going to be disappointed with the customer service or the quality you get, and especially not the prices. If you're from Houston and you know what this Harwin area is like for perfumes and colognes, for this place to be as packed as it is, you know they're doing something right. And this is an unpaid, biased review, because I am biased towards this place. So that's going to do it for these Arabiyat Prestige fragrances. Make sure you like and subscribe and check these guys out. All right. Have a blessed day, blessed week. See ya.